Hello and welcome to the Random Randomness Podcast. As always, I am your host, Amara Franklin, and I am here virtually with Ben Beverly.
Hey.
We are going to be talking about crazy conspiracy theories because, I don't know, it's a random topic that ChatGPT gave me. We do love our robots doing our homework for us. So, I think you have the icebreaker question for this week, though, yes?
I do. So ChatGPT also helped me out with this one
They need to just sponsor us.
because I literally forgot that it was my week. But roll of the dice, what fruit would you be if you had to pick and why?
I'm a banana.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I mean, everybody my whole life has called me banana. It's just it's what I am. I am a banana. And funny story. So because everybody always calls me banana, when I was in high school, I used to think it was hilarious because I'm fucking stupid. When I took French and they were like, "Oh, you need to learn how to say like, I don't dance, I don't talk, I don't this." I would learn instead to say bananas don't dance, or the better one, which is bananas don't talk, because I am the banana and I don't shut the fuck up. So, banane
Do
ne
you
parle
even,
pas means
do you even
bananas
like
don't talk.
bananas?
I love bananas.
Oh.
I love bananas. They're the best fruit, okay?
They really are. They're my
You can have
breakfast every morning.
potassium.
Yep.
You can put them in smoothies. You can mash them and feed them to babies. You can put them in bread and or muffins.
Oh my God, banana bread is so good.
So I make for the boys, especially right now, they have like testing for school. And so I had to bring them snacks. And it's the cutest thing ever. So I just make basic fucking muffin mix that I get from the store. But instead of putting them in muffin pans, I have these little like silicone donut molds and we call them donut muffins. And
Yeah.
you just put it in the shape of a donut and it takes your muffin and like elevates it to something special. What they don't know is I throw like protein powder and chia seeds and stuff in there. So it's like healthier.
Like what I try to do with the waffles, and like you have to force them to eat them. Oh my God. Anyway, so I now that I hurt my own fucking feelings, I think I would be a dragon fruit just because like I mean, I'm sure everybody knows what a dragon fruit is, but they're a little rough on the edges, a little pokey.
They are, but they taste
Um
okay. That was almost sounded really dirty, but never mind.
well,
The
no,
dragon fruit
like
tastes good though.
I don't think so. I think like in the middle they're like super like basic and a little bit of sweet.
I should clarify, my only experience with dragon fruit is like in a pre-made acai bowl.
Yeah, those are
So
good.
I've never eaten like an actual dragon fruit.
I feel like I know what you're talking about though, because I have those
They're so good.
the little tiny ones.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't want ice cream. I'm on a diet, so I'll get this. And then it's like this big and costs like twice as much as the ice cream would have.
probably. Yeah.
It's healthy. When I could have just made a smoothie for like the shit I had at home and then frozen it, but it's fine. It's fine. But yes, I think dragon fruit is a great fruit for you
I don't
to
even like
be.
them.
You're like, I don't like them.
I
This
didn't
is
even
where
like them. How do
we
people like me?
therapist, because your fruit that you've chosen to be your identity is something that you don't like. So maybe we'll talk off the podcast.
Unpack this
Do a little
later.
check in. Like we'll do a little check in. Maybe look up some therapists in the area.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably cry after this episode. It's fine, no big deal.
So on that note, let's talk about some wild, crazy conspiracy theories.
I love it.
Okay. So mine, because cite your sources because we don't do our own homework here. I got mine from sci-fi, like the channel syfy.com. They have a list of great ones that I'm very excited about. And literally I want almost all of these to be true.
Oh.
And I'm assuming you got yours from ChatGPT.
Yes, I did.
I'm like waiting for you to be like, no, I went to an actual reputable source.
I was gonna do that today, but I was like, I don't think so.
I don't think so. It's fine. I mean, full disclosure, it's not like we had a lot of time to plan this. We came up with our topic this morning.
Last minute.
That's what we do. Gotta love my ADHD. Okay, so who's gonna go first?
You can go.
I'm very excited for this one. This one is obviously very much not true, but I can't even say it out loud. The title on the article is From TikTok to Southern Charm Inside the Conspiracy Theory That Pandas Are Not Real. Sweet, adorable, cute little pandas. So essentially, the conspiracy theory that has been on TikTok and also on the Bravo original series, Southern Charm, which I have not seen, but it's, another one of the Bravo shows.
I saw like the first season. It's
So, I'm just going to read this from the article. The conspiracy recently popped up on the Bravo original series Southern Charm when a guy's trip to Linville, North Carolina. Craig Conover asks a question that's been on his mind. Are pandas real? The other men riding along in a Sprinter van look at him skeptically, aka they looked at him like he's a fucking nut job, and started to laugh as he continued, I really wanted them to be real. So essentially, without reading the entire article, he later, like in his little confessional, says, no, they definitely are not real. They are people in panda suits. Yes. So apparently there are people in the world that think that a cute, cuddly panda bear is not real. It's just a human being in a suit.
What did they save from the fucking fires in Australia? I can't.
It's fake. They're just people in suits being carried out in a fire for publicity, maybe. I'm sorry. Somebody believes that a panda is just a human. They probably thought that the fires in Australia weren't real because they weren't here. So,
I mean, if I could be a panda, sign me up for that suit because I would live in a tree all day.
Yeah. Evidence cited in support of fake pandas includes the fact that pandas are persistently clumsy, are ostensibly carnivores, which nevertheless live on a diet of bamboo, and are famously bad at reproducing.
They're lazy, right?
Yeah, basically. So if you were going to fake a species with a group of costume-wearing actors, pandas might be the sort of animal you would pretend to be. So all of the times that you go to a zoo and there's a panda, you should just go up and try to rip its mask off.
I don't go to zoos. I would try to save every single animal. We can't get into that right now.
So that is my first conspiracy theory, and it's just how do people... Anyways, let's go on to what is your first conspiracy theory.
So this isn't on my list, but it is one that I like deep dive into. And like off the top,
own homework.
I did. Well, this was a TikTok deep dive like a month ago. And by deep dive, I meant like I did this for like a few hours and got really into it, and then decided it was true. But so have you heard of like the Britney Spears conspiracy theories where she
is not really her and she's like
yes, her like she died and then they replaced her with like an AI or with her sister, and like no, listen, they had one video that like creeped me out because she was doing her little weird twirls,
spinny things, and then it glitches. It's just
and it looked like her sister, and I was like, oh my god! And then I went down a deep dive.
Huh? They're sisters.
Yeah.
If I put on a filter on my face right now, and then the filter glitched, it would not look like me because these filters do not make them like I do not look anything like me with a filter.
It was a Britney Spears. It was a Britney Spears filter, and then it was Jamie on the behind it, like two different people.
Possible,
because I see what you're saying.
Maybe they just tweaked it to look like it was underneath, not really her. I don't think that they made a Britney Spears filter to put over her sister to pretend that she's alive when people have seen her.
They haven't though. She's been out.
They did. She got into a fight in Vegas like a year ago.
Well, yeah, but that was like during around the sightings and stuff, and then that was like one report or whatever, and then like her boyfriend or whatever that guy was.
Her husband?
No, they're getting divorced or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, they are getting divorced, but at the time he was her husband, yes.
Yeah. He like, cause like in all the pictures that were on there, they're like, she was like, you never saw like her face, like on her Instagram at the time. It was like, and I haven't like seen it in a few months or
I mean,
whatever, probably.
I follow her. I see her posts a lot. She shows her face and her butt.
In her butt.
Oh yeah, she shows a lot. She shows a lot. She shows a lot, which is, you know what? Do you? I mean, it's not much like we haven't seen in her costumes on stage, anyways. Like they put her in basically no clothes anyway, so at least here she's taking back her power. But she's I mean, it's her Instagram is basically an OF, but
Oh my god. Get paid for it, girl. You might as well.
take back your power is really what I think it's more of, is like, you know what, like she's been controlled so much that, yeah. So I feel like when it comes to the Britney Spears stuff, I think that's wild and not true. And I'm definitely going to help look for some maybe psychiatrists or psychologists in your area for you after this, if you believe that.
I
Love you.
100% believed it at the time.
Okay, at the time. Okay, good. Okay.
I don't know
However,
what I
one
believe right
Britney
now.
Spears conspiracy theory that I think did turn out to be true is so many people were like, "Free Britney, she's being controlled. This is not good. This conservatorship is awful and dangerous, and this and that." And then it all ended up being true. I think her being dead and being her sister and having a Britney Spears filter on her face is not a thing. All the rest of the stuff that came from the Free Britney movement, though, I mean, really, people said that that was a conspiracy.
Everything's a
And it
conspiracy.
all ended up being true.
Don't put anything past Hollywood.
So pandas are people in suits, and Britney Spears is her sister.
Well, not just her sister, but like dead. So there's like an imposter, if you will.
So let's go to my number 2. People think that NASA has a live megalodon hidden in the Atlantic Ocean. So, like megalodon sharks,
Yeah.
they think that NASA has a real one. Now, I
I believe it.
totally believe that megalodons could potentially be underneath, like, okay, so there's the movie Meg that came out, that is based on a book that I waited fucking years for that book to come out.
With
Or for that
Jason
movie to come out.
Statham?
Yeah, the movie was not great. The book though was in freaking incredible, and very like the way that the book was written, it seemed very realistic that like this could happen underneath like the Mariana Trench or whatever, that there could be a shark, a megalodon shark that existed that is still like there underneath there, and then all of these creatures come up when this thing happens and whatever. Read the book, it's great. Anyways, the movie was not so great. But apparently, there's a TikTok video that claims that NASA is hiding a living megalodon. Our first clue that we shouldn't trust the video is the way it's composed. Information is delivered through voiceover, played over a series of images. Every image in the video is a stock photo or an image lifted from the internet. There's no original content presented. Every element of the story, from where it happened, who was involved, and what, if anything, was found, has to be taken on faith. But people actually believe that that is a real thing, and that we have megalodons. Like they see this TikTok video and they're just like, "Oh, yep, I believe it. It happened." And you talked over that photo and you didn't get eaten by the ginormous megalodon shark.
They're supposedly really friendly. I couldn't even look at you. They're who I want to go shark diving with.
Do you know what a megalodon is?
100%.
Little baby shark. It's a megalodon.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Quite cuddly.
Yeah. So the megalodons, so let me get this straight. Okay. The megalodons are real.
Right.
And the pandas are people in suits.
Yes. This is the world we live in.
And Britney Spears is dead. Okay. scared, but give me your number 2.
So it's the sock monster conspiracy. So they investigators believe that there's a mischievous creature or force responsible for making socks mysteriously disappear in the laundry, leaving behind unmatched pairs, which I fucking absolutely agree with because I live alone. So why am I always missing a sock?
I mean, I can't answer it, but I don't think that there's a monster.
They're mischievous creatures that come in and they just go through the dryer and they're like, I'm gonna take this sock, and then they just run
Why
away with
just
it.
the socks? And why don't they
I
want both?
know. 100%.
Like,
I don't.
do they eat? Do they eat the socks?
They might need them for warmth.
So they're just like, hey, yo, I got a sock for me. You can stay out in the cold, bitch. Like to their sock
The sleeping
monster
bag.
family.
Yeah.
I mean, do we know what really happens to your missing socks? Of course we don't. But do we really believe that there's monsters eating the socks? I mean, I don't know. I also think that there's a ghost in my house. So, I mean,
And I'm very OCD. Like but I honestly I don't miss socks. So
I never have 2 matching socks, and neither do my children. Like, I'll be like, hey, go get some socks. And when I see them in 2 black socks, they're not the same, but they're at least the same color. I'll freaking take it. Okay.
at least they're clothed.
You make it sound like my children are feral animals in every single podcast. They're literally not. Okay. They
They
are
are.
smart, intelligent, sweet, goofy, wonderful children.
They are, but they're also very
I will
feral.
say, Jesse, however, does like to walk in the front door from school and slowly start shedding clothing throughout the entire house.
He's such a guy.
Yesterday he comes home and he had a sweater on and a t-shirt and pants. Okay. By
He's
about an hour later, I'm looking at this kid. He's bundled up with just his underpants and a blanket, and I'm having to bring him more clothes because it's cold and dude, you gotta stop. Okay, we're not just gonna shove the dry cereal in your mouth while you sit on the freaking couch in nothing but your underpants. Okay, you live with people.
Such like a middle-aged man already.
Seriously. Yeah. So aliens will reveal themselves in 2027, claims former CIA agent.
That's specific.
So here's the thing. Okay. Going back to other conspiracy theories, the whole UFOs, alien and like life forms, Area 51, that's all been fake conspiracy theories. But didn't they just like a year ago or 2 years ago be like, oh yeah, all that stuff? Yeah, that's true.
I thought they said the aliens and stuff were true, but I thought they debunked the moon landing. I thought they said that that was filmed in like a studio or something.
Okay. No, the moon landing really happened. No, that's one of the other conspiracy theories is that the moon landing didn't really happen, but the moon landing totally happened. But I'm pretty sure that they just like actually declassified documents like a year or so ago that said that like aliens were real. Alien document. We're gonna Google this. Yeah, the vault. So FBI records, the vault dot. Okay, this is vault.fbi.gov. So I'm assuming this is real. Also, nationalarchives.gov, CIA.gov, UFOs, fact or fiction. Most of the documents concern CIA cables reporting unsubstantiated UFO sightings in the foreign press, blah, 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 blah. I mean, there's documents here. There's a lot of redacted stuff. I'm not going to read it all, but I mean, it's redacted, so it's true. Okay. Anyway, so I'm pretty sure I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they did come out recently, like within the last year or two, and unclassified a bunch of documents that said that, yeah, here we go. CBSnews.com. Pentagon launches website for declassified UFO information, including videos and photos. The site aims to serve as a one-stop shop for publicly available information related to all domain Anomaly Resolution Office, known as AARO and UAPs, the formal government name for the seemingly inexplainable objects previously known as UFOs. Air Force Brig General, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's going to be photos and videos on resolved UAP cases as they're declassified and allowed for public consumption. So apparently, they have several videos listed that feature unresolved military encounters with UAP. The site also highlights a report on UAP reporting trends, including the objects typically reported, characteristics, attitudes, and hotspots. So essentially, yeah, they're saying that some of this they're declassifying, and they're not necessarily saying, from what I'm reading here, I think they're not necessarily saying. It says, found no credible evidence thus far of extraterrestrial activity, off-world technology, or objects that defy the known layers of physics. So they're not actually saying that aliens are real, but they're declassifying all the sightings, some of which they're saying, like, yeah, we don't know what this is. Here's the information, do with it what you will. We don't know what this is. But oh no, we don't have any credible sources stating that this is an alien, but also we can't tell you what it is. So
I don't know. I don't trust. I mean, I'm not going to get political, but I don't trust anything that's them. But do I believe there's there's extraterrestrial something different? 100%.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's kind of one like ongoing conspiracy theory. So here, the former CIA agent claims alien revelation in 2027. After leaving the intelligence community, Ramirez has enjoyed a second career as a UFO aficionado, making rounds on the podcast circuit. Hey, to tell the world what he allegedly knows. In February 2023, he gave an interview on Podcast UFO, during which he warned of an oncoming alien revelation in 2027. According to this dude, the recent disclosures, whistleblowers, and underwater discoveries are all part of an intentional narrative to prepare the population for the day aliens show up, a day he says is only a few years away. Here's what he had to say with minor edits for clarity. We're kind of preparing the US population, at least, and by extension, the world population, to that reality that there is a presence here and that we need to explain this presence, because if they showed up and we continue to do what we did before in previous decades, there will be mass panic. The reference to previous decades presumably refers to a policy of denial and cover up surrounding events like Roswell, a policy which has apparently been reversed. Ramirez continues, explaining that authorities had no real choice in the matter because aliens have a standing appointment to knock down our door a few years from now. In many ways, I think the word got out within the government that they're showing up in 2027 and we better be prepared. I've heard 2027 in kind of an official capacity. I can't reveal. I would say people in the government are aware of something
Are
happening.
you reading?
Yes, these are quotes from this guy.
Oh, I thought you've been talking this whole time.
No, I'm reading the quotes from this guy. Anyways, they're aware that something is happening and that there's limited time, a few more years to prepare people, Ramirez said. So, yeah, don't know what his kind of official capacity is, but apparently we got 3 more years and then they're coming for our asses. So,
hurry up.
Okay, so I did 3. Did you do 3? You did 3 because you started.
No, I did 2. I did Britney Spears and the socks.
Oh, then you have 1 more for me.
I have my gnomes.
Oh my God, gnomes creep me the fuck out, okay?
Wait, you're going to love it though.
So creepy. My best friend loves gnomes, and like every time I would go to her house, she would have like them on her porch, and they're so freaking creepy. Okay.
Well, here's why, because it's the Lawn Gnome Liberation Front. So apparently Lawn gnomes are actually sentient beings with a desire for freedom and leading to alleged underground movements dedicated to liberating them from guarding captivity. And I think that's, again, very true because have you seen the movie Gnomes? They did not want to do that.
Gnome alone or gnomes? What are we talking about?
I did not know there was a gnome alone.
It's so cute. It's a little like it's on Netflix, I think, and it's like a kids movie called Gnome Alone, and it's about this like little girl with pink hair, and she moves to a new town, and she tries to make friends, and the gnomes something happens with like a portal, and like one of these like weird little gnome things comes out or creatures comes out, and then eats her cell phone, and
Fucking
she
rude.
wants her. I mean, well, yeah, and especially like a 13-year-old girl, don't eat her cell phone. That is like her lifeline, okay? 13-year-old girls and Amara Franklin, you eat their phone, you will die.
I didn't have a phone at 13.
I mean, I did not. I got a phone my senior year in high school and used to talk on it and think I was like the coolest thing because, 2004.
They
Yeah, it's
are
really
definitely hiding out, and I feel like I don't know like what their liberating movement would be. It said to not be lawn gnomes anymore, but like what else would they do? Because they're kind of like a one-hit wonder, you know? Like what would your career be if you weren't a lawn gnome?
delivery guy.
Domino's
Box
delivery.
I mean, they could go to my
Stop
mailbox
it.
and bring my mail to me.
I'm literally picturing like a gnome walking up with like Domino's, like, here you
I mean, if
go.
they're not if they're not like evil, mean little creepers, then they can like come in the house and talk to me while I cook. I mean, I need so much like adult and human interaction. I have a skeleton that I've named Skeleton Steve, who you've met, who literally sits around my house
It's
in
terrifying.
clothing and watch Scream with us. And right now, he's currently in a red scarf to be the all too well Taylor Swift scarf.
He was very fitting for Scream though.
He was
I don't know if
great.
the vibe would have been the same without him, even though
Literally would not have. Not only does he just sit on my couch over my reading nook all year long or at the dining room table, but when we watched Scream, we pulled him out and he got his own little chair facing the TV.
I forgot you dressed him up. Okay, no,
Oh
not
yeah, he's always in clothes.
disgusting.
I changed his clothes recently though, so he has black pants. He has like a baseball shirt or something. Because when the fuck am I ever gonna wear that? And then he's got the Taylor Swift red scarf from the All Too Well. So yeah,
You're forcing him to be a Taylor Swift fan?
he doesn't need to be forced to. This is the house of Swifties, okay? He is my
He was
skeleton,
born into this.
right? He's a part of the family. Even the kids sometimes walk in and they're like, "Hey, Steve."
God. Like he's their brother.
He's a roommate. I made this little like short film one day when we lived in our old apartment before we moved from Oregon, and they're like sitting on the do you remember the brown couches? So it was like two separate seats. So the kids are sitting on one seat and then Steve is sitting on the other, and um the boys were eating Cheetos, so I like made the like staged it so it was like kind of like little pictures put together that looked like Steve reached over, took the kids Cheetos from them, put it in his lap and started eating them.
Job. I'm surprised I didn't believe it.
They were sitting right there. They knew what I was making. We were making a movie. It was a short film, okay? That
I think you
nobody
showed
but
me
us
that, by the
saw.
way.
I think I might have sent it to you and you're like, hey, look at my movie I made. This is why I need adult interactions. Okay.
I'm the
So lawn
opposite.
gnomes, sock monsters, and Britney Spears is dead. And then I have aliens are coming, megalodon sharks are real and being hidden by NASA, and the pandas are humans in suits.
I believe it all.
Literally none of it. I believe not. I mean, I believe that aliens are real 100%, but they're not coming at a specific time. They're just gonna show up one day and be like, "You think you can destroy your planet? We'll just take it over because you guys are dumb." One thing is going to happen. Either aliens are going to show up first, or our AIs are going to take over. So be careful what you wish for. Mrs. ChatGPT?
First of all, I didn't wish for anything. I,
So,
I just want to live in space like Xenon did and enjoy ChatGPT, who does most of my work.
I mean, I do love a good Alexa. So, having that bitch flip my coins and make my life decisions has worked out very well for me so far. You not so much, because I'm pretty sure that's why you moved to Arizona. Was because I had Alexa flip a coin.
Sometimes the coins don't flip in my favor.
So, on that note, let's end today's podcast up with our fuzzy happy moment, which this week it is mean to bring. So, this came from one of those, I think it was like I don't know if it's a TikTok, or I feel like I watch YouTube shorts mostly. And have you seen those videos where it's like social experiments, see how people react to certain things, right? And it's this guy who's in like a shopping mall, and he's trying to go down the escalator, and he's like afraid of the escalator. Like, clearly the guy doing it, the people filming, they're staging this, but to see how people react to this grown man who's really scared to go down the escalator. Like, he goes up like he's going to get on it, and then he backs up and he's like stumbling, and he's really nervous to go down an escalator, which seems like such a small thing. So
They're
many people
terrifying.
ignored him. Oh yeah, they are scary.
I don't get on them.
They are scary. So many people are just walking by ignoring this guy. So many people are kind of laughing and giggling as they go by, and like their faces are blurred and stuff like that, but you can tell like people are just kind of like,
Snickering.
just snickering at this man. And then you see this guy walk by, and he looks, and then he stops, and he says something to the people that he's with, and he turns around and he kind of like touches the guy's shoulder, like elbow, and he says something to him, and then he holds him by the elbow, and he steps on the escalator with him, and he rides it all the way down with him. I literally cried because I'm emotional all the time, but I feel like we live in a world where pulling out your phone and making fun of people is so normal. It's so normalized. And making fun of people or not saying nice things. And that's really the whole point of ending our podcast with these happy, fuzzy stories, is that we live in a world where we are bombarded by negativity and bullying and all of these negative, funny, like, let's make fun of somebody at the gym. Let's put these people who maybe said or did something stupid, blast them all over the internet and embarrass them.
Yeah, you can't like trip without somebody being like, ha ha. It's like,
exactly. And now we have these phones and these things to like put that blast on the internet, and then to have somebody take a moment and just stop what they're doing. They don't know that this is a social experiment. They don't know that they're just seeing how people are reacting, and they don't know how many other people before them just ignored or made fun of this guy, but they took a moment of their time to do something kind to help another human. And I feel like we need to highlight more of that, because we don't see it so much. You go on your feeds and you're blasted with the opposite.
but then people like talk shit about you for videotaping kind moments and then saying that you're just doing it for the video. So it's
for
like
the video. It's horrible. Yeah, it's like, no, but the point is like, yeah, you're doing it for the video to show that there are people out there that are not assholes, and to try to promote kindness.
Right.
And
100%.
because guess what? Kindness is free.
Yeah, it's so nice.
It is so nice, and we need more of that. And, like simple things in life. When you see somebody that has a bunch of groceries in front of you, you may be in a hurry, but you can let them go in front of you. Like, small little things might make a huge difference in somebody else's day.
Yes.
So that's kind of why I don't think we ever explained why we want to end it with these. But that one just made me really happy.
That was a good one.
It was a good one. And to whoever that is, who is probably not listening, although we got up to 5, we had 5 listeners of our last one that went up today. And I know only one of them is me and one of them is you. That means 3 other people listened to our podcast this morning.
Was it on Spotify?
It doesn't tell me. It just says 5 total. Why? Did you listen to it twice?
Well, no, because I never did on Spotify, because I never downloaded it, and then I downloaded it.
So either 3 or 2 other people listened to us today.
But I think when we get to like 5 million, then we should have like a pizza party.
5 million.
Mhm.
You have so much faith in us.
Manifest.
I'm like, when we get to 100, I'm so excited.
When we get to 50.
One other cool little update that has happened is I figured out how to turn on voice messages. So if somebody goes directly to our Spotify page, which if you are listening on other podcast players, like I saw it on Apple Podcasts this morning, I know we are currently on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and I was wrong last week when I said Stitcher. It's actually Castbox and I think another one. But if you're listening on another podcast player, there's a link now that you can click on that will take you to our Spotify page, and you can leave us like a voice message and we will play them in the next episode. So if you want to tell us what fruit you would be or respond to any of these conspiracy theories, share a happy fuzzy story that you have, any of those things, go ahead and leave us a voice memo. And as long as you're not calling us assholes, we will play it in the next. You can also leave us a rating and review because, again, we are tiny baby podcasters and we are growing to 3 people that are not us listening. So if you're one of the 3 that are not us, go leave us a rating and review wherever you have listened to this podcast. And have a wonderful day, night, week, whatever. And we will talk. Well, we're not going to talk to you at all. You're going to listen to us ramble.
Yeah, you will hear us.
Bye.